Olmsted, and it is my privilege to conduct the Hibbing City Band. We are so excited to be able to perform in Chisholm tonight. If you would rise, we're going to begin our concert with the national anthem. Well, I guarantee, at the very least, this could be interesting tonight with the wind. We're going to do our best for you and hope the music or the stands don't go flying away. We're going to open our concert tonight with a march entitled America Exultant. Published in 1917, near the time the United States was entering World War I, famed composer Henry Fillmore wrote our first selection. His first editions of this march were published under the pen name Al Hayes, which Fillmore used for approximately 20% of all his compositions. He also composed under the names Harold Bennett, Gus Beans, and Will Huff. Fillmore was a colorful, fascinating composer and trombonist. He spent his childhood playing in theater orchestras, circus bands, and working in his father's retail music store. John Philip Sousa said, "A march should make a man with a wooden leg want to step out. And I believe America Exultant is exactly the kind of march Sousa had in mind." piece was composed and scored over a 3-year period from 1916 to 1919. Written by one of my favorite composers, Percy Grainger, this march represents a departure from the usual marches written during this time. It uses low winds in a colorful and playful way. Interestingly, the work was inscribed, quote, "For my playmate beyond the hills," unquote, who in all likelihood was a woman named Karen Holton. After being introduced, she and Grainger developed a relationship mostly by mail. There is great speculation that they would have been married had it not been for Grainger's mother's overbearing and possessive personality. This is entitled The Children's March, otherwise known as Over the Hills and Far Away. Our next selection is something new for our band. The piece is entitled Africa, and it was a hit song by the rock band Toto. The song was released on the band's 1982 album Toto 4, and it reached #1 on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart in 1983. The piece features our percussion and woodwind sections of the band. We hope you enjoy Africa. Written by Henry Mancini, our next march comes from the classic Good versus Evil movie, The Great Race. In this piece, Mancini features some of America's most celebrated themes. He is best known for the Pink Panther theme. He studied at the Juilliard School of Music, although his studies were interrupted when he was drafted for World War II. Following the war, he worked with the Glenn Miller Band and Universal Studios, where he began his career, for which he is known. Our next march is entitled The Great Race March. Our next piece we are really excited to play for you. It is entitled Happy, and the title says it all in describing this delightfully upbeat selection. Originally featured in the mega hit movie Despicable Me 2, it has taken on a life of its own, both on the internet and pop charts. Though not patriotic at all, like our last piece, it is a feel-good tune that will immediately lift your spirits and put a spring in your step. This is Happy.
We have a dad and a mom. So I have one.
Our next piece is entitled Rookie of the Year. Bill Conti wrote the theme music for the 1993 movie Rookie of the Year. It was a playful fantasy sports comedy about a little leaguer whose broken arm magically heals into a pitching tornado, sending him at age 12 into Major League Ball. Conti's score was an immediate hit. The critics wrote about this next piece, a heroic score, part Mozart, part marching band. This is Rookie of the Year.
Go up the stairs. Don't go on me.
Our next piece is a traditional New Orleans street band piece. It would have been played in a solemn funeral procession from the church to the cemetery. Following the slow dirge-like beginning, the up-tempo rendition represents a happy send-off to a better life. The original melody has been found in hymnals dating back as early as 1860. From the earliest roots of Dixieland style, musicians have often improvised on music they knew from attending church services. This piece is entitled Just a Closer Walk with Thee.
Be nighty, be night. Go away. Be nighty.
Thank you. know, the silver lining in tonight, no bugs. You gotta love that. Our next thrilling march was originally written as the main theme for the movie Battle of Britain. Ron Goodwin and Sir William Walton composed the music. Goodwin generously devoted one of the highlights of his score to the Germans. This piece later proved so popular that he changed the name of the march to Aces High. The new work emerged as an accolade for all those who participated in the conflict, regardless of their allegiance. This glorious and riveting main theme was hailed as one of the best pieces of martial music ever written for a movie. Our next march is entitled Aces High. So before we do our last march of the evening, I just want to take a couple of moments to say thank you to a few people who made tonight's concert possible. A very special thank you goes out to Jim Veracek and the Community Ed Board for making this concert possible, as well as, yes, give him a round of applause, as well as our own band member, Pat Kesley, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, for kind of arranging all of this with Jim. Cindy Rice was also very instrumental in helping organize. Had we not had such lovely weather, we were going to be in the high school at the Chisholm High School here, and she had worked to arrange that. Also, a huge thank you to the city crew for hauling chairs and all sorts of great stuff for us. And a special thank you to all of you as well for coming out tonight. We were able to play in Chisholm a few years ago, and it's really nice to be back in this lovely little city, and we hope that we can maybe see you here again next year. Our final march tonight is entitled The British Eighth March, and it was written by a lesser-known composer by the name of Zoe Elliott. He began composing at the age of 14, and he received his education from Phillips Academy, Yale, Trinity College, Cambridge University, Columbia University Law School, and the American Conservatory in France, where he actually studied with Nadia Boulanger. Our next piece, British Eighth, was dedicated to General Bernard Montgomery and the Eighth Army after a triumphant sweep across North Africa in which Montgomery defeated Rommel. Thanks again for coming out tonight. This is the British Eighth March. again, just a wonderful privilege playing for you. August 11th, if you're interested in coming and hearing the band again, we will be on the lawn of City Hall in Hibbing for their birthday celebration. So we hope to see you there. Thanks and have a great evening.